Are you starting over from scratch on social? Maybe you've had a bit of a pause, maybe you've had a bit of a pivot, and now you're like, you don't know what to do, and you don't know how to make things work best for you the first 30, 60, 90 days of starting over again with social media content marketing. Well, I'd tell you to do this. And this means follow the advice that I'm going to be giving you to make the most of the next 30, 60, 90 days, the first business quarter of rebuilding your brand. But really quickly, I got to go get a pizza. Come on along with me. So if you're starting over from scratch, I want you to do this. I'll define what this is in a minute, and I'll let you know how many times to post to get the win back in the sales of your platform and your brand, especially if you're a small creator or a nano influencer or micro influencer. But trust me, I'm going to give you some useful advice about how to take, say, the next 90 days and make it work for you and your business. And I'll share with you what growth can look like for you if you stay the course. But first, are you starting over from scratch on social media content marketing after taking a break for a few weeks, months, even a year? Maybe your pause was due to bad health, like mine was this past year. Maybe your pause was because you hit a big wall in terms of creator block. Maybe you paused because you're pivoting your business and you wanted to figure things out behind the scenes first before jumping headlong into content marketing again. And now your Instagram account it's following, let's say, it's got kind of a thick layer of digital dust on it. Your TikTok account, same. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever else, same. But regardless, since I've been a coach since 2013, I've seen people stand at the brink of coming back from a pause in terms of their social media content marketing. And then they're feeling overwhelmed because they're starting from scratch or close. They're disappointed or even upset about being in that position. And they're worrying about all of the traction that they've been missing. And it's like, well, they're wondering if it's too late for them to restart their brand, their business. Like, have they missed the boat? So if this is you, then what's my advice? Know your goal. First, give yourself some realistic goals for getting out your social media content, given your current facts and circumstances. Like, I might give advice such as do your best to cover your content marketing base on a daily basis on the top 2 social media platforms that are most important to your niche. But if you're at a place where you need to ease back into content marketing on behalf of your business, you just can't do daily right now, then if 3 times a week is all that you can do, then that's all that you can do right now. So know your initial goal, set that goal, and keep moving forward. Maybe you can revisit that goal in terms of content marketing quantity over the course of a week in, let's say, a weekly basis. Can you get to daily content marketing on at least the top 2 social media platforms that are most important to your niche? Can you just cover that? Can you set a goal to get you there? Keep checking in with yourself to see if that's possible. But I get it, if it's been a while since you've been actively putting out content, you might be fighting off overwhelm, thinking about content marketing on the regular again. I get it. You're normal. You're human. But nevertheless, I just flat out say to you, just keep moving forward and quit worrying. Now, perfect is the enemy of done. I just want you to get back into the rhythm of implementation so that you eventually become used to just getting out of your comfort zone and actually doing the thing. You get better at doing the thing by doing the thing, I always say. What's the thing here? It's planning the content, creating the content, optimizing the content, publishing the content. when it's been way too long. Since your last real run at creating content, let's say, it's easy to feel rusty and uncomfortable doing it. Just know that that's normal and just keep going. It'll get easier. Be patient. Give it time. I bet you within a week to 2 weeks of the first 3 months of easing back into working your business's social media, you'll be back on track. And it'll steadily become faster and easier and more second nature to get content out with every day and week thereafter. Until after 90 days' time, you're barely even thinking about content or stressing about getting content out again. And if you missed one of my more recent videos, when it comes to planning out your content, both relationship marketing based content and straight up sales based content marketing over the course of an entire year, well, I'll leave a link to the video in the show notes down below, because you'll literally see step by step what I do, and then you can use a version of my method to make things work for you too. By the way, if you're getting any value out of this video, please make sure that you hit that like button. It'll help YouTube get this advice out to more people who might need this advice too. And of course, subscribe if you'd like me to be your YouTube content marketing for conversions type coach. I'd be honored. Now, with your first piece of content or two, as you start over from scratch on social media, what if you want to share with your pre-existing audience, whatever it may be, why you took a pause, why you pivoted your brand and offerings or anything like that? Well, I'd recommend that you share scars, not wounds. Dr. Brené Brown is a research professor at the University of Houston, and she's very famously said to share from your heart and not from your hurt. You share the scars and talk about the journey to and through them from a mature and wise position. You do not share your open wounds, because you're not really helping your audience. You're kind of dumping on them, and or you're using your social media platform as a confessional of sorts. So sure, if you want to create a piece of content or two to relaunch yourself after pausing or pivoting or even starting completely from scratch, you go ahead and do that, but keep it brief. End it on a hopeful note and immediately connect the dots between what you've gone through and the wisdom you've achieved to the takeaway that would benefit your audience. Do not go on and on about yourself. As Thomas J. Stanley, author of the book The Millionaire Mind, once wrote, me is dull, dull, dull. People consuming your content are wondering what's in it for me. So get down to it. Sharing your message way more than your mess, okay? Now, I promised to talk to you about frequency of posting when you're starting over social media from scratch, so here it is. Post twice a day, at least. I know, that's a lot when you're first easing back into it. So what can you do? Like I said earlier, to start, every week I would revisit your posting frequency and do your best to up the ante to get more exposure and more content-based conversions for your business. Whether you're an influencer, a brick and mortar store owner, an e-commerce only business, I don't care who you are or what you do. Daily is best, especially if you're a small brand, a nano influencer, a micro influencer, a small creator, what have you. You need to build up your back catalog of content. You need to put out more digital breadcrumbs out into the world, meaning pieces of content, so that your ideal customer has an ever-increasing chance of finding you and falling in love with you and what you have to offer them on social media. And then they get to know, like, and trust you enough to buy from you, right? That's what you want. So according to later.com, you should be posting 14 times a week if you have a following of less than 1,000 followers. That works out to be, you guessed it, twice a day for best results. When you're between 1,000 followers and 250,000 followers, you should be posting between 14 to 20 times a day, or a week. Sorry. TikTok itself is different. Right now, 1 to 4 times a day is an ideal amount of content there. But again, don't freak out. You do what you can do over the next 90 days, the next business quarter's time. You build up to this sort of frequency as you can, as soon as you can, to get the results for your business that you want. And if you feel like you're going to falter, you feel overwhelmed right now, well, I have to say, remember your why. There's a reason why you want to be an influencer, a business owner, a creator, a professional. There was a reason why you wanted to take the talents that God gave you and turn them into a way to serve humankind. In fact, I believe that you have a moral obligation to help everyone you can by virtue of your talents, your gifts. What is your why? Your reason for living, your reason for going into business in the first place. If you're feeling the weight of publishing a lot of content and you're doing everything on your own, I get that, I do. But you can't get to where you want to go without paying the cost to be the boss. I credit Snoop Dogg here. Seriously, if success were easy, everyone would do it. Everyone would have it. But also, what if you're concerned about posting too many times? Like, will you annoy your following? I highly doubt it. Never feel bad about publishing content. If you put the focus of what you're creating and what you're sharing on the people you're trying to serve, you'll stop feeling sheepish, pushy, or problematic as you crank out your content. It's about them, not you. Worry about helping them. Be concerned about reaching them, teaching them. Get it?
Gotta pause really quickly and get that pizza. Sorry. We'll get right back to it in a second.
Now, I mentioned TikTok, and I've had students get all sorts of success on that platform, including my 7-figure success client, Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, which is at over 800,000 followers. So I have a playlist right here that can show you everything they've done to create a presence on TikTok, bigger than many major brands and even professional sports franchises. So try these tricks to grow your brand too.